coach's time. Coach's time. We gotta listen to the coach. We gotta get coached up. Gotta get coached up. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta tap in to Coach's Corner, man. Let's get it. Let's get it, man.
I appreciate you guys, with this. Today's Coach's Corner. It's a little special for me, near and dear. It's going to start out talking about it's touching with high school basketball, and it touches my high school, Plainfield High School in New Jersey. Plainfield High School ended up being the #1 team in the state of New Jersey. The first Group 4 team to end up #1 in the state in 25 years. So it's been a long time. And the young man that you see right there, his name is Jai Himes. He's a 6'10", 6'11", 250-pound center. He actually transferred in from North Carolina, has family in the area, so he wanted to come. He was familiar with Plainfield, so he wanted to come back to Jersey and play basketball and help Plainfield, and he did a great job helping Plainfield make a strong run. Plainfield ended up with only 3 losses all year, but his circuit in terms of recruitment didn't go as strong, but eventually it did pick up, and the reason why he's in here is he actually committed this week to Seton Hall University, so he's going to be playing basketball in the Big East, and he's bringing good footwork, good fundamentals for the most part, a ferociousness, defense. He gets after it. He can rebound, block shots, does everything. So, and he loves to dunk. I think they said he had one of the most dunks in the state in years. So, it's a pleasure to see him play. And then for him to now get recruited and going to be playing, even though he's going to be my school's arch rival, Rutgers, Seton Hall in basketball, they're arch rivals. They play for a state title, the Garden State title. So, and for bragging rights within the state. So, but I'm going to be rooting hard for the young man to do well and, do well in the Big East, and make a name for himself, because you never know. Again, like I said, 6'10", 6'11", 250 pounds. He's a man child. Look at his build right there, and imagine when he gets in the weight room. So that's what I wanted to touch on a little bit. So good luck to him moving on into the Big Ten. So we're going to move on to the next segment, and we're going to talk about the ladies. Yeah, you know how I do. Got to talk about the Liberty. The Liberty just played yesterday. They played the Indiana Fever, and it was Jonquel Jones' first game back. She's been out for most of the season with an ankle injury, so she came back in pure fashion. First points, 3-pointer for New York right off the bat. So she was a key contributor to New York. It was a little touchy-go, especially in the first half. What's her name? Kelsey Mitchell was dynamic, put up 29 points. She was the leading scorer. But New York, they had 6 players who scored at least 10 points, led by Jonquel Jones with 18 points. So, even Sabrina Ionescu, she had 3 points in the first half. But there in the fourth quarter, she scored 10 straight points and helped to put this game away. New York ended up winning this game 98-84 over Indiana. Now, Indiana was without their superstar, the mega superstar in Caitlin Clark, but New York showed why they're a championship contender, and having Jonquel back really showed where they're going. Now, New York also signed 2 players. Stephanie Talbot, we talked about this on the Full Court Press on Tuesday. Stephanie Talbot was signed. She was cut by Golden State, and New York picked her up. She's a veteran player, a wing player. And they also signed Emma Mieseman. Mieseman is a champion. She won a championship with Washington back in 2019. She was series MVP off the bench, leading them. And this is a team that also had Elena Deladon back then. So, she's definitely someone who's going to help New York. She's prolific in Europe. She's been playing over in Europe. She was all Euro over there. She won a few championships over there, league MVP. She played for Belgium, helped them in the Olympics. I believe they ended up with the silver medal. No, they ended up with the bronze medal. I'm sorry. France ended up with the silver medal. But she's that type of a player, can play down low as well as stretch out. And she brings something to the table, and it's going to be something that's going to help New York going forward. One of the betting servants now changed because it was Minnesota who was the favorite. They actually now put New York as the favorite to repeat with these two signings. So, it's a great addition. So I'm looking forward to it now. Right now, she has some international something with her visa that has to be worked out. But when she gets here, she's going to be a great asset to New York. And Jonquel, like I said, having her back, big asset. So I'm glad to see her back, and what she brings to the table, protects the paint as well as her scoring and the little things. So, but again, good win yesterday, and I'm looking forward to the second half now that we are done with the All-Star. And kudos to Sabrina and Natasha Cloud for winning the skills and the three-point contest on Friday. They did their thing, New York sweep. So happy for that. So, but now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to college football. And I'm going to start with Syracuse. And with Syracuse, the reason why I'm talking about this is ESPN did their rankings in terms of recruiting. And Syracuse came in at number 23. Now, last year, Syracuse finished 10-3 in the ACC. So Coach Fran Brown did a great job as a first-time head coach. And he got that program headed in the right direction. Now, some publications have said that they're going to end up, on the bottom spectrum because there's some turnaround going on. But he's doing a good job in recruiting, and the players want to go there. So for them to end up at number 23, number 6 in the ACC in terms of recruiting, along with the Miamis, the Florida States, the Clemsons, the North Carolinas. He's doing a good job bringing the talent over there to Syracuse. He has 3 top 300 recruits coming in to Syracuse. Let me double check their names. He has, where are they? I just had them. Sorry about that. I had it queued up and I changed it. Syracuse is, here we go. They have wide receiver Calvin Russell as their top offensive prospect, and defensive end Cameron Wilson, who's also one of the top players. They also have 4-star defensive end Jarvis Rogers out of Florida. He's a 6'5", 220-pound, lengthy defensive end. So once they get him into the weight room, he's really going to fill out. So he has good size. And then offensive tackle Javion Cooper, 6'5", 300 pounds. So, they're bringing in some good talent, and they're replacing guys who have left, like Arande Gadsden and Kyle McCord, to name a few from last year's team. So kudos to Coach Brown, what he's doing, and looking forward to them. I just saw that they had ACC Media Day, so next week I'm going to have a little bit of information in reference to that. So, and finally, I'm going to touch, on Rutgers. What more can I say in reference to Rutgers University? So the reason why I brought them up, they're also on this ranking list in terms of ESPN. They're ranked at 24, so they're right behind Syracuse. They also have 300 ESPN 300 commits. Their top offensive guy is wide receiver Dysere Carter, And defensively is athlete Wydek Collier, who can play any of the defensive backfield. I've even heard talk that, maybe they might fill him out and he can play linebacker. They also have Elias Koch coming in into the wide receiver room, as well as Joey Kopech and Ronaldo Callaway out of Georgia. So Coach Schiano is doing a good job in terms of his recruiting. Again, this is number 24 in the country. And just to give you a little insight, like I said, it's 24 in the country, but they're 9th in the Big Ten in recruiting. Think about that. This is how strong the recruiting is for the Big Ten. Number 1 is USC. So, USC is really moving up there. Ohio State is there. Oregon is there. Michigan is there. Penn State is there. So, these are the teams Rutgers is competing with in terms of recruiting. And Rutgers has beaten out some of these schools, as well as the Alabamas, the Georgias. So Coach Schiano is doing a good job. You have the returning offensive coordinator going into his 3rd year. They have a co-defensive coordinator. Howard Siemiak moved on as the head coach. I think he went to UMass to be the head coach there. So, but they have a co-defensive coordinator, Robbie Smith, who's been with Schiano for years, has come over. He's coached in the Big Ten. He was DC at Minnesota before. So he's bringing that aspect of familiarity to the football program. So definitely appreciate that. And then they also had Media Day this week. The Big Ten has had Media Day yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So all 18 teams are there, speaking on the talent. You also had 3 players there. Also, Athian Kalimanis, he's speaking on, his familiarity and comfort in the offensive system. He's played under it, even at Minnesota and now here at Rutgers. DJ Jabome, as far as a linebacker, he's stepping in. Last year, Mohamed Toure, who went down with a knee injury, DJ stepped in and filled out nicely. And then when Mohamed left to go to Miami, he's the number 1 guy in terms of the defense. So he's the leader on that defensive side. And they spoke highly of Coach Schiano and what he's bringing to the table, how he's bringing in terms of recruiting. And, even teams in the Big Ten have said Rutgers is not the same Rutgers anymore. It's going to be a tough out. So expectations is, roughly about 7 wins, because now this year they're playing the Oregons, the Penn States, the Ohio State, the Iowas. So the level of competition is definitely stepping up. So I'm excited to see what's happening in training camp, what they're going to do in the running game. They return 4 their starting offensive linemen. They just need a new left tackle, but they're loaded in the running back room. This is a staple of Schiano defense and the running game. So definitely looking forward. And then they have some tall wide receivers and some dynamic wide receivers. They even brought some in through recruiting. So, there you have it in terms of, the locals, in terms of recruiting and what we have going into the season. So I'm pretty excited, looking to bring you guys some more coverage. So that's pretty much it that I have for Coach's Corner today. So thanks for everybody for tuning in, and back to you, NYG.